Tony Blake, and CEO of a lot of programs she's doing. I call her the number one blogger in Delaware. You seen her all over the place, all over what's going on, because she is involved with a lot of things. And pretty soon, she's going to explain to you what she does, how she got involved with this, how you can get involved with this, how look out for the pitfalls, okay? You're listening to the Brittingham Chronicles right here on WILM. So first and foremost, Miss Blake, I'm going to call you Tony. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr. Brittingham, and I will call you Charles.
I thank you very much. See, we're very formal on this show, since they told me it's got to be an adult program.
Very good.
I said, adult program, you want me? But Miss Blake, in all seriousness, thank you for coming to today's program. We like what's going on down here. I know you had a little bit of drive coming from Middletown. But can you kind of give us a little bit of who Miss Blake is?
Sure thing. And first and foremost, thank you very much for reaching out to me and inviting me here this evening. I am Antionette Blake. Most people know me as the Delaware blogger, and my friends call me Tony, so it's great that you called me Tony, Charles. But Antionette Blake is the owner of A. Blake Enterprises, social media management and consulting. And what I do is I like to work with entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and what I like to call side hustlers to ensure that not only are they on the correct social media platform, but they are engaging with their target market audience in what I like to call an H to H manner. Okay. Human to human, because people don't go to social media to be sold to, they go to socialize. So I work with them on engaging, and I consider myself seasoned. I'm a boomer, a very proud boomer, because you can get a college student, anyone to come out and say, post and tweet and snap. But when you're a small business owner, especially an encore entrepreneur, someone that is starting their second career, perhaps they were downsized, resourced, or just laid off from a DuPont, a Chemours, or AstraZeneca, right. But they still have a passion, like you and I. We still have a passion for what we do. We're good at what we do, and we want to earn a little income.
Oh, absolutely. That's the name of the game, because the way economics is now, it's kind of tough out there. But you can make it if you try. I tried several businesses in my career, and I was lucky. Most of them were successful. Now, I didn't make $1 million in each one of them, but I was successful because I was happy at doing it.
Yes.
And I'm from the old school, and I was learned or taught that if you're happy what you're doing, you're not working.
Exactly.
And that's the way it is. So that's who Miss Blake is. Now, when you said H&H, that was, I understood that. But you said something else before that about not social boomers, but what was it? I forgot just that.
What,
quick.
encore entrepreneurs?
No, it sounded like it had a negative part to it. I was wondering what that meant.
Oh, side hustlers.
Side hustlers.
Oh, no. The side gig economy is booming.
What does that mean?
Most people have a side gig. Whether or not you have a 9-to-5 job, you're also doing something in addition. Your side gig. That's never a negative. Yes.
See, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so old, I call it supplementary income.
And that's what it is. Multiple streams of income. Because before A. Blake Enterprises was fully registered and up and operational, I was doing a 9-to-5. I was corporate America for 32 years.
Wow.
I was literally, you say, welcome me to come in from Middletown. This was no commute. I would commute from Middletown to Wayne, Pennsylvania every day for 8 years.
Wow. Think about the weather and the traffic going up there. Wow, I tell you, that's something. Well, like I say, that's one reason to get out and start your own business.
That was one of the biggest reasons. I didn't start out wanting to create A. Blake Enterprises, as you alluded to earlier. I'm actually the Delaware blogger. I'm considered the Delaware blogger because I started blogging in 2012. And it was a way to fill a void after the death of my grandmother, who had raised my sister and myself. And we loved shopping. What woman doesn't like to shop? But because we grew up in the 60s in New Rochelle in the projects, my grandma was a maid, so we did not have a lot of money. We had a lot of love. And she taught us young how to thrift. So right. Saturdays were at Goodwill. Saturdays were at the Salvation Army before it became popular,
Absolutely. Well, that's really wonderful, because I call that old school.
Yes.
Right? Because that's the way it is. I told somebody this a couple of months ago. I said, I retired from the phone company.
Okay.
And I went there in the 60s when it was called Diamond State. And I retired just before they called it Verizon, right? So I retired in '97. And I was talking, my matter of fact, it was my brother. We was talking. I said, Ronnie, I said, I've made more money than our mom and pop ever could dream of.
Yes.
And I'm broke all the time. But back then, we never had to worry about, roof over our head. It wasn't I don't want to eat this. You're going to eat it or you don't eat.
Right.
So,
it was
and we was thrifty.
Yep.
So we had talked about what generation kind of lost that spirit. It was my generation who lost that spirit, who keeps out there doing these type of things. Now, what's happening is we got to get that back.
And that is a great point, because we are getting it back. It's with Generation Z,
right?
Not the millennials. It's Gen Z, the 23-year-olds. Our youngest son, Al Malik, he's 23. Okay. He's Gen Z, and they say that they have the old soul of their grandparents and great grandparents, because they're very thrifty. They're not just going to throw away money, or when they do something, it's with a purpose. Yes. See?
My daughter's that way.
Gen Z.
As a matter of fact, my oldest daughter, Urena, she just got married again right after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Couple days after Thanksgiving. And she said, Dad, I want you to meet him. I said, well, I'll get around to it. I'm going to have surgery, blah, blah, blah. No, Dad, you got to meet him. I said, okay. So I met the young man. The young man's from North Carolina. And he talked about old school.
Yes.
He said, I want to meet you, Mr. Brittingham, because I want to get your permission to marry your daughter. Well, after about 30 seconds, I went, is this guy real? I said, this is how it's supposed to be.
It is.
And, of course, we got along real good because he buttered me up. I said, now, here we go. Let's do our thing. So I like that type of idea, and I try to instill that in all my kids.
Right.
Everybody who knows me, I got great grandkids.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we just had triplets that just turned 4 years old.
God bless you.
And so we try to make everything reasonable. You want this, you got to work for it.
Yes.
Right? And what you're saying now is that's what you want to do. You didn't start out to be a blogger.
No.
And so I would like you to tell the community, and what is blogging?
Yes, sure. A blogger, simple, is a weblog. People say, well, why should anyone want to blog? Well, again, we all really just want to get along. Humans want to connect. And it does not matter what your subject is. And now more so than anything, I'm telling our business owners to include a blog as part of their marketing toolkit. Yes, we have social media platforms, free social media platforms, i.e. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the like. But you're at their mercy. You're renting their audience. And when they go down, like they did last Wednesday, you cannot connect. But if you have a blog which you are creating or curating content that is engaging, again, with the H to H, it's not just selling a product and or a service. It's providing tips or hacks or just articles that are part of everybody's day's life.
Right.
What is it that I can help you with? For example, you said you had cataract surgery. Well, maybe there's some things I can share with you that may help you in your, well, obviously you look great, but help you in your recovery. Or because we're multidimensional. People are, humans are, we're not one-sided. I'm not just a wife. I'm not just a mother. I'm not just a blogger. I'm not just an employee. There's lots of things that I need to know about. How can you help me save money on clothing, food? Where's the latest place to go to? What's the best radio station in the state of Delaware? So when you're blogging, whether it's a lifestyle blog or a business blog, you're sharing content with other like-minded people.
That's really wonderful. Now, is it hard to get into blogging? I mean, is there a license? I mean, how's that work?
No, it's simply, if you enjoy writing and sharing, if you think about it, Twitter is actually the first micro-blogging website. When Twitter became popular before, today, you think about sharing, you became your own journalist. Like you have your studio, but now with the smartphone, you can go and interview anyone, anytime. Remember when Captain Sully landed the plane in the Hudson?
Absolutely.
People were tweeting about that before CNN, before NBC, and so they were literally getting the news out. So as long as you sign up for a platform, there's various platforms, Blogger, WordPress, Wix, whatever. It's just, you don't need a license, you just need the passion. Your passion, your purpose, and to solve the problem. What problem do you want to solve for other people?
That is really wonderful. Well, I tell you, we're getting ready to take our first break. You're listening to the Brittingham Chronicles right here on WILM 14:50 a.m. on your dial. I have Miss Tony Blake with me, and we are explaining how blogging works. You too can be a blogger. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these short but important messages. Fantastic. I said, I hope she doesn't say everything before we get
No, I've got a lot more. Hello guys, we're here. Mr. Brittingham is over here. There he is. Look up there. I'm videotaping. Move your head up. Let me move you up there.
There you
are.
go. Hello.
Now tell us a little bit about your station.
Station, WILM. We have been here for about 6-7 years out here in 920 Basin Road. WILM's been around for like 50, 60 years in Wilmington. It's a family-owned station at one time. Now it's owned by Clear Channel. We have 5 stations out here: jazz, country, just good old-fashioned Republican talks, Democrat talks, and of course, my show. We deal with current affairs.
Awesome. And I'm here with him today. I am so excited. Today we're actually here on a Friday, but you're not going to hear it broadcast until Sunday. You're not going to see this video until then, but it's going to be great.
Ready again?
Ready.
3, 2, 1. And we are back. Thank you for holding on. Now listen, go get a pencil, go get a piece of paper, because we have some very important information to give you. As you know, my key phrase is, I have news that you can use. Okay? And I'm here with Miss Blake, and she's teaching me a little bit about blogging, because I only know what the word was. I didn't know nobody was doing it. I know people who said they were doing it. I never seen nothing from them. So you're the first one out there, because I've been following you on your blog for a little bit now, and got some very interesting stuff out there. Now, did you hear that any information can be passed on? In my case, we was talking about me being sick. You can pass on some information about how to get well. Somebody out there may need, finance advice. So get out there and get it. We live in a capitalist society, and yet most of us don't have capital.
Very good point.
It is
Very
simple
good
as
point.
that. It started with Reagan. Trickle down economics, rah, rah, rah. So I don't want to get off the point here, because I got a very special guest, and she's going to get into a lot more stuff. So you have the floor, Miss Blake.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brittingham. Listen, a blog is, like I said, a simple web blog. But again, we want to connect with others. And whether you start with a business blog or a personal blog, that's up to you. However, there are various elements. You can start out with a free platform. You don't have to put out anything. So if you're looking for that side hustle and you're thinking of, hey, I want to start a blog, but there's steps to starting a blog, and I'll go through those steps and understand that this is not easy breezy. You may read people's blogs and say, oh, I can do that. Well, that's fine, but you have to have a passion for it. You definitely have to have a passion for it. So I talked about the 3 P's of blogging, then I talked about the 3 C's of blogging, and then the ABCs of blogging. Okay. And I actually have a 3-part workbook that I don't want to promote, but I'm going to promote it here. That's
You're welcome.
2018 edition, and it contains over 50 pages of building your basic blog to monetizing your blog. And if anyone is interested, you just send me an email at info@ablakeenterprises.com. It's $9, easy breezy, and it's a lot of information. But you're going to get some of it today.
You can add me on.
All right, I'm going to add you to that.
Okay.
But you think about it. The 3 P's. With anything that you want to do, you have to have a passion for it.
Absolutely.
You have to enjoy it. This is not a job. This is something that you want to leave as a legacy. And that's important. Leaving a legacy. You want to leave a legacy for your family. I want to leave a legacy for my family. How do we do it? It's that dash in between. I was born in 1961. I don't know when I'm going to leave this earth. That's up to God. But in between, how do I want to be remembered? I want to be remembered, that dash in between. I want to be known as the Delaware blogger.
Absolutely.
And what did I give you? What content did I share? Now, when I first started blogging, it was fashion and fun after 50.
I remember that.
Yes, you remember that. It was DEDivadeals.com, fashion and fun after 50. And that came about because after my grandmom passed, I had all this time on my hand. And I didn't know what to do with it. So I started writing, and I was shopping, and I was sharing deals for women after the age of 50. I loved it. And it became a way to earn a little bit of money through affiliates and sponsored posts. We talk about that a little bit later. But there is a way to earn money with that. But I was having fun. It was my passion of sharing, connecting with other women. And through that blog, believe it or not, I actually was approached and was flown to Hollywood, California.
Oh, wow.
I was on Rodeo Drive. I did a commercial for
Rodeo.
I did a commercial for Depend, of all things. Depend. But
As
I was
young
the
as you are.
as young as I am. That was what but you know what? You know how they
Got
found
a lot of
me?
response.
They were just looking for boomers, and they were looking at, and it's not so much how many followers you have, it's your content, and that's one of the 3 C's. But I had a passion for what I was writing about.
You know, I can relate to some of that because that's how I was discovered. I cook.
Oh.
Okay. And I grew up in the kitchen with my mother.
Okay.
And I grew up in a garage. My father, he had his own 3-car garage.
Okay.
So I like to work on cars, vehicles, and I cook, right? So when my elders started passing away, I started getting all their recipes. Okay? I started, and I got an aunt now, she's 94 years old. And I would say, Aunt Edie, how do you cook such and such? You know, and much as she can remember now, but I didn't really know. We just having a conversation with her. And that's how it started with me as far as passing something down.
And that is why you should have a blog. Because Auntie, God bless her soul, she's going to pass on.
Mm-hmm.
You remember those recipes. Don't you want others that...
Absolutely.
Because that's why people pay all that money for Ancestry.com. They pay to see what was going on in there. But if you had a blog of recipes that you shared from when you were knee-high to a grasshopper with your mom in the kitchen, and you passed that down, it's always going to be there. Social media will evolve, and it may, be in the cloud, and the kids may just have to tap something on their hand to pull it up.
Your smartphones we only came out with that in 2007.
Yes.
So look how from there to now.
Exactly.
And my background is communication and labor. So when my first year after retiring, when this came out, I went, how did you use this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
We was analog.
Right.
We did all this other stuff. But I really get it, ladies and gentlemen, with the passion. You really got to have passion, because I learned a long time ago in my cooking that cooking is easy, but you got to love it.
You have to.
You got to love it, man, And you can't remember you're not cooking just for yourself.
Exactly. And you know what? And we have to think globally. See, a lot of people are I don't want to use this offensively, are narrow-minded. They're only thinking what they can see.
They got blinders on.
But social media is global. What we take for granted in America is not taken for granted other places.
Amen.
So if I'm writing now, because I was recently diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, so on Fridays, my blog is dedicated to food, and fitness.
What to
so
eat, what not to eat.
Exactly. And I'm sharing recipes with others that may be diagnosed with diabetes, newly or already been there. And I had my cousin. I didn't realize that diabetes ran in my family.
Yeah.
And until a cousin from Ohio texted me and told me that it was all through my father's family.
Oh, wow.
And that she too was a diabetic. And the one thing she said was, I wish someone had taught me how to eat better.
There you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Heredity. I didn't know anything about heredity until I was in the service. And I had my first heart trouble. And I just thought I just had a pain in the chest. Mm-hmm. And the doctor says, you got anybody in your family who, high blood pressure and all this stuff? I said, nah, man, no. And that was impossible because all that stuff we was eating back in the day.
Think about it, right?
And so when they told me all that, I said, I got to take care of myself.
Yes.
Right? So I would run to the doctor in a heartbeat. Right? And he said, nothing's wrong with you. I said,
right.
I said, I'm not faking this stuff. Something's happening.
Right.
But you got to have a passion. And you gave me a great idea, because I wrote for fundraisers. I have written some cookbooks, mm-hmm. and I would ask people, what's your recipe? I put it in the book. Things like that, just for a fundraiser. But I never thought about it on the level you're talking about. You can
create a blog where once a week, twice a week, you are not only sharing those recipes, but you're sharing other heart-healthy tips. Mm-hmm. It's one thing to just, put out a recipe, because there's recipes.
Yep.
But your stories, people read up. There are millions of blogs out there. It's not the blog per se, it's the voice behind the blog. So if you like my voice, you're going to follow along, and that is connecting me with other like-minded people.
Well, I'm telling
so
you.
that first P is the passion. The second P is your purpose. What is your purpose of the blog? Am I there to entertain you? Am I there to educate you? Am I there to, preach at you, whatever. So you decide. So the voice of my blog is just sharing information. And then the last one is a problem. What problem are you solving? What pain point? Everybody can help somebody else. And when I write, it's about helping people stay healthy with diabetes. So those are the 3 P's of blogging: your passion, your purpose, and obviously, that pain point that you can solve.
And that's fantastic, because I know plenty of people like myself, we mentor people.
Yes.
And that's how it was taught to us. So no matter what you do, whatever your career you had, whatever it was, you can pass it down.
Pass it down.
Because a lot of us say, well, I don't have nothing to pass down. Well, what did you do for a living? It's the same way with writing your will.
Right.
Well, I got nothing to put in my... Well, yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. Well, first and foremost, you're going to tell people how you want to be buried. That's the first thing.
Right.
So you're listening to the Brittingham Chronicles right here on WILM. I'm sitting there talking to Miss Tony Blake, and she's sharing some very valuable information. So make sure you write that stuff down. And if you didn't do it, see me in the community. Make sure you get some of this stuff. We'll be right back after these short but important messages.
Having a great time here. This is wonderful. Didn't get a tickle in my throat.
I did that once, and I'd like to die.
Oh my God! I usually do that on my podcast, but I have water, and then I'll start coughing, and it's like, please.
Yeah, once you start, but.
See, Mr. Brittingham is over here. We're talking and having a good time, right?
When we were doing live, people call in.
Yes.
That's what I meant to say.
Right.
And one day I got dropped off here at the studio. I had a 2-hour show, and I left all my stuff in the car because I got dropped off.
And had to go do it from the...
I was trying to remember, and because I got a gift to gab, I was really talking. And at the end of the show, the last 2 minutes of the show, my neighbor, she was in her 70s at that time, called up and said, I'm listening, baby.
Oh. I did that on my first. I'm like.
It messed me up.
My podcast has been on for years, but yeah, I remember. I couldn't find my script.
Yes, I mean you have those moments,
But that makes you human. That's
absolutely.
Another thing about blogging and
when I go to my conventions, I do my shows at the convention.
Awesome.
Right, and we can blog it now, but back in those days, I interviewed somebody with an old tape recorder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I said. Now we've got the video here. We can do this like this.
Yeah, and then I go in my hotel room and I'd be talking, and the guy back here would do it. I mean, it worked out.
Right.
But that's antiquated now.
Yeah. But everything evolves. Everything old and new again.
So what do you think so far?
I'm loving it. What do you think? Am I all right?
I'm learning.
Yeah. We're going to talk about the 3 C's after this.
I'll be honest with you. I thought I knew blogging. I mean, not everything, but I thought I knew.
That's what I do.
And you said one thing that really got me. You said most people think they know how to do it. Mm-hmm. And I thought about cooking. That's why I said cooking, because
that's your
people
passion.
say, I can cook. No, you can't. Mm-hmm.
But it's your style.
Oh, I got a style.
You got to put a spin on everything. And I think you got to be open up to other people's opinions, because that's, people are going to be, you got to have to be like
well, people are people.
Yeah, you're going to get people to not agree with you.
Well,
But that's life.
I have a phrase when I cook my spare ribs. I tell people, I said, my spare ribs are so tender because I tested on a snag-a-tooth man.
Oh.
And that's got to be tender.
And I just look at it and go, okay, I can't eat it because I don't do pork.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I can't, but we don't eat pork, so I can't do yours.
Well, a lot of times I don't eat it. I'm just saying, I was catering.
Right. Oh,
so that's what I'm saying.
Awesome.
So a lot of that food I cook, I don't eat.
Right. Well, not anymore. We can't eat all the food that we used to cook.
And so, but what I'm saying, that was my catch. That was my hook. Mm-hmm. Right.
And that would be considered offensive today?
No. This was about 2 months ago.
I don't know. Hey, you know what? It's you have to enjoy life, because tomorrow it could. My tagline on my blog is, if you wake up looking up, everything else is gravy, baby.
That's right. This side of the daisy. It's let me get back to what we're doing. I don't want to take you too far away.
No, we're good.
3, 2, 1, and we are back. You're listening to the Brittingham Chronicles right here on WILM, 1450 AM on your dial, every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. Or you can reach me at www.wilm.com. My mistake. See what happens when you do things live? And just scroll down till you see Brittingham's Chronicles. Boom, plug it in, you got me. Okay? And don't forget, we're worldwide. That's what the WW stands for. Okay, we're back with my special guest. And I hope you're learning something because I am really learning a lot. That's why you don't hear me talking a lot. I'm trying to find out more and more because you can only learn something when you listen. Okay? So, Ms. Blake, we talked about the 3 P's. Now you mentioned the 3 C's.
The 3 C's of blogging. The 3 C's of blogging is content, consistency, and your community. Now, content is king, but you want it to be so good that your customers or clients wear the crown. So what do I mean by that? Don't just put out crap. Blunt, point blank, period. Whatever you're going to write about, post about, share, make sure it's something that people want to read.
Yeah.
You know, so your content is king. And you don't have to be a Shakespearean author. You don't have to, be grammatically correct because, again, as I mentioned, it's the voice behind the blog. But you want to put out content that people are interested in. Otherwise, they'll just go on because there's too much other things out there. So the content is either created by yourself, pulled from other websites. You can put a spin on anything. There are people that have opinions about everything. And what I like positive content. I stay away from politics. I stay away from religion. I stay away from any, hot topics because you know what? I like to surround myself with positivity. When I lay head to pillow, I want to lay my head to pillow in a good conscience. Now, if you're a negative writer and you're a cursor, you like dropping the F-bombs and all that, that's your thing, but that's not me. So your content should be good. So you're not just with you cooking. Think about what you want to talk about. You want to talk about a specific style of cooking, old school cooking, southern cooking. Maybe you want to talk about meats. Maybe you want to talk about baking. So think about the content and then narrow your niche. I tell people to kind of narrow it down because you can't be everything for everybody and you can't be good at everything.
Yeah, you don't want to sound like you're preaching at somebody.
Exactly.
You don't want to sound like it's a lecture.
Exactly.
And because I learned that lesson a long time ago when I was giving a speech in front of about 6,000 people at a convention. And I had all my notes and I was ready. I've been practicing in front of the mirror. And I go up there, brrr, and within 20 minutes, I hear people talking. They just tuned me out.
They tuned you out.
Because it was like a lecture. And so I learned one thing. When that happens, you got to say, in conclusion.
When they wake up, I'm done.
It's time to go. I learned that from my former president, Kwasi Nkrumah. He said, he said, the best way to learn, he said, go speak in school at the 6th graders and the 5th graders.
Wow.
So when you make a mistake, they don't know it.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. So as speaking to these kids, I call myself doing to help me. They helped me.
They helped you.
Right? And I was going every week to different schools. Now it was fun.
Right.
And but that's what he said. He said, when you lose your crowd, no matter how much more you got left, you can have 10 pages left. Just say in conclusion and wrap it up because you done lost them.
You lost them. That's right. Your content, people don't have time. First of all, humans have the attention span that less of a goldfish, which is about, 7 seconds? So you got to catch them right away. Start, reel them in and then, stop, interject, tell
a joke.
Tell a joke or something, make humanizing. Again, I'm going to go back to the H to H. You want to humanize whatever you're doing. So that was the first C. Your content has to be good. It just can't be something you throw out there.
Right.
Consistency. Consistency is key. Now, when you start the blog, only you know what times that you can do, how much you can do. Don't base your blog on someone else. If I know I can blog 7 days a week, every day, then do it. And I tried that with my first blog, and I burned myself out.
Especially the 3rd and 4th week. It's not as easy
because then the content became crap. You were just putting stuff out just to put it out there. But if you can do that, if you've got good content and you can post every day, 7 days a week, go for it.
But that's just like in here. I can't say the same thing every week. And I do current affairs a lot. Unfortunately, it's the other side of what you're talking about. Because I try to get information in the community on crime, police, and stuff like that. And I got to go both ways.
Right.
I got to be neutral.
Right.
And it's tough because I'm the president of the NAACP.
Okay.
But I got to put the content first, right? Because people are people, like you just said, and I'm just like they are. I want somebody to tell me the truth.
Right.
So I do scope it. I try to leave a lot of negative stuff out of it, but that's how it is.
Reality.
That's how it is. And so that's where we are. And I get a lot of feedback on that. So I do go out in the community now, and I do go out and, hey, what do you think about such and such? Just want to hear what they say. And then I play it back here.
Right.
Invite them back here.
Invite people.
And,
yes.
and like I said to you earlier, I started on this radio program 20 years ago, February the 12th, 20 years
wow,
ago.
Congratulations.
Right? And I did that by design. February the 12th is Abraham Lincoln's birthday. And it was our meeting, NAACP, it was our very first resolution that we put out in 1909.
Wow.
And that was education. And ironically, we're still fighting for education today.
Yes, we are.
Some of the same problems.
Some of the same
So
problems.
I had to go out there and do that, and I felt good at it. I said, maybe I can do this. And we talked earlier on the phone about Mrs. Brown's baby boy.
Oh,
Les
Les Brown. Yes.
That's how I was. I came out here, you got to open it, ain't got nothing. And finally
Brown,
says, hey, I got 15 minutes, can you do the news? So sometime I come in here and I actually, do voiceovers, commercials, and tapes. And I love it.
Now he put the bug in my ear. I might be showing up here every Friday. Like, what you got?
Hey,
what you got? You need a new guest? You need a new guest? I'll be here.
It can happen. It can happen because that's how it is. It's called growth.
Right.
And I'm, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not selfish at all. You know what I mean? Because I done heard the crowd of the music. I mean, the crowd laughing. So I don't need the extra applause. So if I can help anybody, and that's the reason for the show, if I can help you.
That is wonderful. And when you pay it forward, it always comes back to you.
Oh, absolutely.
Like crazy.
And it's surprising, some of that stuff. You go, man, I didn't know that. I was in trouble. And next thing you know, I'm out of trouble.
Right.
And that can only be done by one person.
Exactly.
Well, one.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it doesn't matter who you believe in, if you believe a higher power, because by faith you walk. Prayer works. And I don't understand why people don't understand that. I really don't understand that.
Hey, well, it's crazy, but that's another subject we can talk about later.
Look, I can come back on another day.
Absolutely. She might be a co-host, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what do you think?
But okay, so that was that.
So that was so your content,
you got two
your
C's,
consistency,
right?
And the last is your community. Again, the people who are following you. You're not a silo, you're not an island. A blogger can never be an island. They have to reach out to other bloggers to help to share. The motto, sharing is caring. So join communities of other bloggers, perhaps in the same niche. So for example, you would join the community of other bloggers who cook. I would join the community of other bloggers over 50. You know what I'm saying? Just find your niche. And what happens is we have what's called parties where we connect and we share each other's blog posts so that we can get more eyes on it. And that's what it's all about. Sharing, caring, and expanding your base. So the 3 C's, the content, make sure it's good. It's not crap. Your consistency, do it on a regular. If you can't do it every day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, because you know what's going to happen? You're going to start to build a following. And people are going to start looking for you and your blog. And so let's think about this. If you and I have a date to have coffee every Saturday morning, and I come and I knock on your door the first Saturday morning, and we go out. The next Saturday I come by and knock on the door, you don't answer. The third Saturday I go and knock on the door, you don't answer. Do you think I'm coming back the fourth Saturday?
Right.
No. So if you're not consistent in your post, then your readers are going to go someplace else. There's too many other places to go. So content, consistency, and your community. Share with others.
Man, that's fantastic information. She didn't say this, ladies and gentlemen, but that's workshop talk.
And you will hear more about the workshops. Yes, coming soon. Yes,
I read that on one of your business things, so I had to throw that in there.
Yes, sir. Thank you
because
very much.
That's what it's all about.
It's all about. Yep.
And it's the community is fantastic. What you said, because when you first said that, I was thinking community at large, but you're talking about the community in your field that you're in.
Correct.
And I can relate to that too as well. When I have a big catering job, I can't do it all. Mm-hmm. I got to call other caterers.
There you go.
And the problem is, well, it's not a problem now because we all know each other. But when I first started out, the guy says, well, this is what I charge. I said, wait a minute, I have the contract. So that's what we're going to do.
Right, right.
So I understand that. And it's so very, very important because as you know, people are like to crawl over top of each other and get the headlines. Mm-hmm. It's not about that. Mm-hmm. It's about information, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I do this show. And as a matter of fact, we'll be right back after this commercial. Look, 26 seconds over.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, that's the best part about taping.
Oh, okay. Then you can kind of weave it in. Okay.
Yeah, when he edits and I edit it, we can knock some of that down.
Great.
You see what I mean?
Okay.
He's my guy, man.
Good, because I like to talk.
Well, me too, and I apologize. I don't want
another
I don't
commercial
want you
break.
talking about cooking all the time either.
Why? Because that's your passion.
Yeah, but I mean, this is about you today.
All right. Oh, I like that. This is about me today, the Delaware blogger. If you're not listening on Sunday, you know what? I'm gonna promote this show. You never know. I might be back on a regular. What do you think? Let them know. Okay.
Hey, I understand. Because right now it's mostly automatic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? All three of these computers, each room got 3 computers.
Okay.
Right? And they're just not for here. This is for Clear Channel across the country.
Right.
So there's a couple times I came in to do my show and I got done early. The boss will come in. He say, "Look, a DJ didn't come in Detroit.
A Les Brown thing.
Yeah." And I said, "No problem."
Right.
Because I ain't got to spin the records.
Right. You just press the button.
Yeah. They would give me a list of what's up, and then I do my thing. And guess what it was? It was country. And I didn't know nothing about country, but they gave me talking points. And I took it from there.
Well, you guys remember I was on Radio 1 2 weeks ago in Silver Spring, Maryland, but I only had like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. It was really short. So this is great.
Oh, no, it's...
Well, I was segmented so that I could only get a little bit. Yeah.
No, believe me. This is why I picked Friday to do this.
Yeah.
If I had picked Monday or something like that, this place is buzzing.
Right. No, this is great. I love being in the studio. I love it.
My problem is I usually have to end studio, and sometimes I never know where I'm going, so I don't put nothing up yet.
Oh, okay.
You know, because sometimes I come in, it's all filled.
Right.
But I got stuff in storage to put up. So.
Oh, cool.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're down to our last segment.
Okay.
So I really want you to promote your business.
Yes, sir.
That's what this is about.
Okay.
You know, the stuff you was talking about over there. Just you get out there and say it. You know.
Yeah.
Do our thing. Come on, get out there.
Well, you don't have to tell me but once. I will promote myself, right? Y'all know, you know me, right? So we will promote myself, my business, my blog, courses.
Absolutely. How to get in touch with you and stuff like that. You know.
Yep.
But I do want to ask. I do want to ask if you have any hobbies. I asked
Yes,
you to
blogging. No, blogging is my hobby. My hobby.
No, I'm going to ask it on the air.
Yeah, no, what is my hobby?
I know one of them's basketball, right?
Well, because our great nephew's on Villanova, so shout out to Sadiq. Yeah.
You got something on there now about him, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow night or something?
Saturday night. They beat St. Mary's last night by 3, and then this Saturday I forgot who but yeah. And I remember I know before he was born, and I got pictures of him when he was a little guy, and we went to see him at the Wells Fargo Center. I'm like, oh my God.
They shoot up, don't they?
Yeah. My son, my baby son. Oh, everybody's taller than me.
I have 5 kids, 4 girls, 1 boy. The boy's the baby.
Yeah.
He's 34. Uranus 51, be 52 this year.
Okay.
LaWine, she would be 51 this year, but she died.
Yeah.
Brain cancer.
Oh God.
And the rest of the kids are stair-step, right? Now, out of that 5, I got 3 grandkids.
Wow.
Right? Out of those 3 grandkids, one of my daughters has 2 kids. And then another daughter has 1.
Right.
But out of 3 grandkids, I got 8 greats.
Great grand.
Only because